Well, of course, the people-to-people context that we were just hearing about is important. Not many people realize that the Indian diaspora is 3.5 million people in the UAE. Actually, when you walk here on the streets of Dubai or you go into a shop, quite often you just naturally start talking in Hindi because that seems to be the lingua franca in many ways. And those people-to-people relations will be pushed a little bit further with all these big meetings that are happening and with the inauguration then of the temple. Prime Minister Modi is going to be here with us, and we're now being joined by Dr. Nishi Singh, the Director of Communications, Ahlan Modi Indian People's Forum, which is going to be actually putting that entire event together. Great to hear from you. So obviously a lot of excitement within the community, the Indian diaspora here. What does Ahlan Modi actually mean for the community? These events have always, in the past, also created a lot of buzz.
Good morning, Vikram. It is wonderful to be speaking to you. Namaskar and salam alaikum to all your viewers. You know, here there's such a palpable sense of excitement because we all recall very fondly the first time he came in 2015. And I'm not sure if your viewers are aware, but this was after a gap of 34 years that a Prime Minister of India visited UAE. And nobody had come before that. I mean, not in my time here. And then subsequently, he came 6 times. And at that first meeting in 2015, there were 35,000 people at the stadium in Dubai. And the vibrant energy, I wish I could have captured that for you to feel what it was like. And then he made the announcement that His Highness, the President of UAE at that point, had given us a land to build the first temple. Never in our wildest dreams, living for decades in this country, had we imagined that something like this would ever happen in our lifetimes.
Now, we were just talking about what seems to be an increasing multiculturalism in West Asia, in the Middle East, in countries like the UAE. The fact that this giant temple is coming up in Abu Dhabi, do you think that's a signal? And what does that mean for the community?
Oh, it is. And I think we've all witnessed that change happening in the last few years. I mean, I always say to people that never had we imagined. Of course, there's always been a lot of respect for the Indian business community and the working class, but the respect for professionals, the respect for people, the tolerance. I mean, for instance, I've been working for the government for many decades now, the government of UAE, and for the first time, we actually got an email wishing us Happy Diwali. I mean, we used to always celebrate our festival, but on a very low key, very discreet manner. And then the Ministry of Tolerance was instituted by the government of UAE, and to be given land to not just the temple, every denomination of church that you can think of, every subsect of Islam that you can think of, even a synagogue.
You know, Dr. Singh, when you talk about the diaspora all around the world, many people think about Canada and the USA and the UK. Not many people realize how big the diaspora actually is in the Middle East and certainly in countries like the UAE. Would you believe that it's one of the most important diaspora communities anywhere on the planet?
But then see how the diaspora has contributed to building UAE to what it is today. I mean, people forget that we are not all senior professionals here. Majority of our expat population here lives in the labor camps. And that is where, you know, organizations like us, the Indian People's Forum, come in because we act as a bridge between the government and the embassy and, you know, our people on the ground. And I think we've seen the difference firsthand, how the Indian embassy and the government, as on both sides, has become receptive to the needs of our people here. I mean, just the fact that our embassy and consulate is working 365 days, 24/7, we just have to pick up, our volunteers have to just pick up the phone and call anyone in the government on either side, even the labor department in UAE. Any problem with any workers, we just find solutions, which was unheard of in the olden days. So we've seen how the current dispensation has changed life for each one of us at every level.
All right, Dr. Nishi Singh, we are going to come back to you again, perhaps at the time of Ahlan Modi, to see what the community is making of it all. Thank you so much for joining us.